So guys, it's Easy here with another dev diary, you could say. I'm going to test a battle with the Dutch against the British. I'm in defense. I'm using a custom battle map that I found on the Steam Workshop. One of my favorite ones because it's really cool to defend, like kind of a earthwork fort with trenches and whatsoever. So yeah, as I said before in the last one, I have been revamping the units, textures, the projectile system has been updated. I added all the information on the Total RTS forum mods. It's the official forum that I use for the mods. Also other people are invited if they want to host their mods or whatsoever. Yeah, it's a very interesting forum, small one, not big one, but doesn't have to the point. So okay, so I'm going to show you some of the units first, of course. These are the Dutch Grenadiers. As you see, they've been updated a bit. This is I'm fighting in the summer dress. So as you know, all Western factions will have summer and winter dress. So then you know it also. So this is the Grenadiers. These are the elite units of the Dutch army, of the tier 1 Dutch army. These are the flankers, also an elite unit of the Dutch army. You can compare them with the French voltigeurs. So they're a bit the same thing. So yeah, a bit the same thing indeed. And they are also new units, and they also look a bit like the Grenadiers, except they have white trousers or pants, and of course different hats. They have shackles. So this is here the 6-pounder light cannon, as you can see, smoothbore cannons, of course. The Dutch are also using the smoothbore muskets, with normal round balls, round bullet balls, you could say. As you can see, here are the Luxembourg Jaegers with their smoothbore muskets. The model is the Stevens 1842. And the cool thing with the new update that will come is that I changed the bullet system in the way that out of the barrel comes round bullets, and if you have a rifled musket, then you have a mini ball, or minier ball as you can say. And also the before the vanilla values is that it was very weird that most of the muskets were firing an arc. Now you couldn't see it because it's so fast, but when I lowered down the speed, like very slow, I could see how actually the bullets hit the target, and it was looking that they were firing an arc of like 80 degrees. It's really big, of course, like an arrow. That's not really the point of muskets. So I changed it all. I also looked up the way they fire, and it looked at smoothbore muskets, while very inaccurate, especially at long ranges. At shorter ranges they are pretty accurate, but really short, I'm talking about 100 yards maybe, or even lesser than that, they can hit something, but even then, so you need volley fire. You need a lot of soldiers to fire at one moment. That's why they had volley fire. And they fire straight. Now in the barrel, of course, and the reason why the smoothbore muskets were so inaccurate is because, of course, the round bullet in the barrel actually was bouncing towards the barrel, and that's why it couldn't fire straight. So even if it fires straight by the law of gravity, you could say, it doesn't fire straight towards the enemy unit. So that's why they are so inaccurate, especially at longer ranges. So you will see in the new update that will come in some time that there will be a big difference between rifled muskets with the minier ball and smoothbore muskets with the round ball. You see that even if they all have the same maximum range, as you will see, they all have now the same max range. It's around 275 meters, 300 yards. But you will see that at really the long range, the rifle musket will fire or hit more targets than the smoothbore muskets. So yeah, rifle muskets will be, of course, much more accurate and much more deadlier, especially at lower ranges, you could say. So yeah, here is the Jaegers. Here we have the Colonial Infantry, the Colonial Dutch Infantry. those are also the Colonial Infantry. Here we have like a new unit also. We have the East Indies Infantry. They are actually coming from Indonesia, because we also know that the Dutch had colonies over there, and it was, I think, pretty normal. I added those units because, you know, the British had the Sepoy Infantry, the French had the Zouaves. Now people could say, yeah, the French also had Indochina, Vietnam. True, but they were really starting to conquer that area around 1858. After 1858, now the tier 1 units are between that time frame. It's between 1850 and 1860. So I was like, I'm not going to add the French like Vietnamese infantry. Maybe at tier 2 it's possible I will add them for them, so then they have more colonial units also, as that will be the main army in the campaign. So yeah, here we have the East Indies Infantry. This is the Colonial Infantry, we saw that one. This is the normal Dutch infantry. As I said before, that the main army will be colonial, of course, because we are in the Far East, but in one specific area, in your capital area of your territory you have, for example, you will be you will have available that you can import those units, but there will be, of course, requirements. You need that territory and you need a special port for it. So only at one territory you can import those units, you know, for strategic reasons, of course, that your main army will be colonial. So of course people can always mod it out by themselves if they don't like it so much, but I think it was cool that, of course, to have normal Dutch line, European Dutch line infantry, or whatever Western faction you're using. Sounds a bit strange, because most of the Western factions that were, you know, colonizing, you could say, they used colonial troops. So here we have the normal Jägers, of Jager in Dutch. They have green uniforms, but of course the way the sun, the brightness of the sun is not really, I think it's coming from that side or from the other side, so it's dark, so the shadows, of course, can't see them very well, but they are green uniforms. So sometimes when it's like brighter, the sun, or it's like midday, then you can see it. But yeah, you know, sadly, CA made it a bit arcadey. You know, it's a bit stupid that you cannot choose the time you're fighting, like midday, evening, or whatsoever. But okay. Here we have the Limburg Infantry. So they're infantry from Dutch Limburg, or Limburg as we say in Dutch. They also have green jackets. Then we have here the Marines, of course, the Dutch Marine Infantry. Nice. And here we have then the Luxembourg Infantry. They come from Luxembourg. So yes, indeed, Luxembourg was part of the United Netherlands, or Dutch Kingdom, because the United Netherlands normally said it for the, you know, the lowlands, when, I mean, before 1830, before the Belgians rebelled, you could say, get their independence. But it was the Dutch Kingdom. The Grand Duchy of Luxembourg was part of the Dutch Kingdom, and it's a bit special case with Luxembourg, because it's also part of the German Confederation, but then it was given to the Dutch, and blah blah blah. Well, politics, you know. So here we have then the General Staff and the General's unit with a bicorn, if I say it correctly. Sorry, history buffs, don't kill me for that. And then we have here the colonial guns, light guns. All colonial guns will be light guns, will not be heavy guns. If you need heavy guns, as I said before, you need your capital territory. If you lose your capital territory, well, then you lose the availability to import European units. So try not to lose that territory. Of course, that's for the campaign. I'm not working on that yet. I will do it after I have the ships, the tier 1 ships, and I start the campaign itself. So here we have then the tier 1 6-pounder colonial field cannon. I actually had the right tier 1, but okay, probably forget about it. Or maybe readjust that in another one. Let's see. So here we have the 6-pounder field cannon and the 12-pounder smoothbore field cannon. So they are all smoothbore cannons. And the British, I think I already showed them to you, but here we have the 6-pounder Colonial field cannon and the Black Watch. We have here the Welsh Fusiliers, we have the Foot Infantry, and we have the Colonial Foot Infantry. Yeah, the movement of the camera, the shakiness is of the game itself, not from me. So it's because of the cinematic view. So we have again Foot Infantry, we have the Sepoys Infantry. I mean, I think you already saw that normally if you play the game. So here we have the Coldstream Guards, we have the Gurkha Riflemen, and so on and so on. And we have the British, what is it, General? Here with the flag bearer. Where is the General? Oh, the General is here. Hey, you're a bit slow, my friend. No, I'm just joking. But you will see that, you know, the purpose of these Dev Diary is to show the way the game works now a bit more. The ranges have been different now, more realistic. Now they have max ranges, because you had a max range, of course. So it's 300 yards, 275 meters approximately. So I wrote everything in meters. The reason why I put the values in meters is because the terrains are 2 by 2 kilometers. So yeah, I think it's more interesting to put them in meters, of course. So the values. So plus, of course, here in Belgium we use meters. So sorry, we don't use yards or miles. So we use kilometers or meters. So yeah, sorry for that. So yeah, okay, so I will show you when we're going to start here. I put on play. And they're going to start firing. And boom! As you can see, cannons fire straight. As I said before, that in vanilla, I don't know why, they actually fire, the bullet itself fires in an arc. Even if the smoke and the trails are going straight, the bullet itself was going with an arc of 80 or 90 degrees. So 90 degrees like this, so it's like they fire like that. Yeah, that's not really the way it has to be. So I don't know if you can see it a bit, because they are slower. See? So now they fire straight. You see howitzers. I do not have a howitzer here, but howitzer, they fire in an arc. So I of course have given all, or put all the information on the forum, so you can read it by yourself. The same with muskets. Smoothbore muskets fire straight. Rifled muskets, I actually looked it up. I was quite surprised that they actually fire a bit with an arc. So while smoothbore muskets fire in an arc of 1 degree, that's almost nothing, because I couldn't put the value 0. The rifled muskets fire in a 5 degrees arc. You could say 5 degrees is not that much either. So it means that rifled muskets will fire a bit better at hills or than, for example, smoothbore muskets. So yeah, just for you to know. So here we have the 6-pounder field cannon. Of course, the AI is pretty stupid, because you can't fire over a hill. You need a howitzer or a mortar. But yeah, AI isn't the smartest, you could say. So you will see they will do something stupid as usual. That's the only thing I don't like so much about the game here, is that in the core code, for one reason or another, they can only unlimber one time. I mean, limber and unlimber. So now they unlimbered, and now they will limber, and they will never unlimber again. Only maybe one time in 100 times. Pretty stupid, but okay. You also can see that the textures are much better. The reflection of the sun and whatsoever are so much better. So yeah. You also see, of course, that the bullets bounce for smoothbore cannons. For howitzers, not. And they have fuses, so they actually fire. I mean, they actually, you know, because they fire an arc, they have to explode. So they have actually explosive shells, you could say. I hope they will not disappear, because they are in trees. So to see how the arcs fire, normally they fire in an arc, and you see, bullets fire in an arc. I think in a 45 degrees arc, while a mortar fires in a higher arc. So I think at 60 degrees or even more. I'm not really sure. So now the cool thing is, with all the revamping of the projectile system and whatsoever, it looks like, I mean, in most cases, the AI now actually really, I mean, for line infantry, of course, and I'm not talking about traditional melee infantry, because they have to charge, they have no other choice. They actually now march more in a line, and they fire more in a line. Of course, not the most smartest way, you will see it later, because they will go in a line, but yeah, the left flank, of course, they don't have the range, so yeah, they're just sitting there, and the right flank, they have a range and they fire. But okay, yeah, the AI isn't the most smartest one, so at least we have to be happy to do something good. So here I was like afraid, because you know, I saw the left flank going towards me, and I was like, ah crap, they will probably maybe go around or something. I mean, AI never does it, but you know, I was like, you know, I'm going to protect my guns. So I sent my elite grenadiers towards the left flank here, and as you know, I used the military cadence button, so then of course you have music, but they also walk faster. You can see it in the this pictogram here, that they are marching faster with a little nice drum. So all the sounds that I use, of course, are really from that nation. I think the Dutch are using the trommars, or the trom march. The British have different marches, depends on units. The Scottish, I mean the Highland, you can say the Scottish units are using more with bagpipes, of course, sounds with bagpipes, while the other British have, for example, other British known tunes. So then you know. So here I see that, I hope the game doesn't crash, because sometimes, you know, especially when you zoom in or whatsoever, oh no, it's a typical game. So here my units are ready to fire. Fire. Yes indeed. But at least this cannon is firing. You will see this one, that is the 6-pounder, the one that was, you know, putting himself behind the hill, because he couldn't fire, of course, because you can't fire with a normal cannon above a hill. You need a howitzer or a mortar. So yeah, here is the bug, that's the bug, I hate that bug so much. So what it does, it just goes to you, and yes, stupid, and charging like, hey, I'm so stupid, I'm going to go to FotS. Yeah, that's very smart. But okay, but at least the British are firing in a line, and I've seen it more consistently, that the AI, at least in normal, the harder it, the difficulty, of course, the better they are, but of course they get buffs, even if the core code is the same, they get buffs of it. But at least they are firing more in a disciplined line. Of course, as I said before, the left flank of theirs, my right flank, yeah, they're out of range, they can't fire. It's pretty stupid, but okay, you know. Yeah, okay, at least the AI is doing something smart here, so we have to be happy now that it's a bit better. Here, of course, the British Grenadier Guards are out of range also. So yeah, at least the other ones are firing. And they are using Neil fire. But yeah, these ones, of course, are out of range. Only some part of it can fire. So yeah, now you're going to see and enjoy a bit of the battle. The difficulty is on normal. It's just for testing purposes, because you will see that the battle is pretty close, and it's also because it has to do that the British have rifled muskets. I have smoothbore muskets, and the damage that they do is much more harder now. I really changed that. They really have a difference between smoothbore muskets and rifled muskets. Now I will win the battle, spoiler alert, but it's pretty close one, I would say. It's pretty close. I mean, I'm not the best strategist, of course, especially against the AI, but you know, it was to show you the difference, because normally even a human player have to win against the AI. I mean, not always, but you know, it's pretty cool sometimes that it's a bit like close, you know, that the AI wins or whatsoever. It's a bit difference that you always beat it, because you know, you're human and you're smarter. Here you lost the flag, as you can see. I animated it, so you can see the flag, like, you know, falling. I mean, normally the flag, and for one reason or another, most of the flags, they go inside the terrain, but I like said like, oh no, I want it that you can see the flags and the regiment flags, so then you know, okay, which flag or which unit has fallen. So, and then later you'll see a lot of flags here of the battle that was there. So yeah, the battle has here we have the 6-pounder Colonial field cannon. That's the one that was here. As I said, that's the bug, eh? So it started very well, and then they just do that stupid stuff every bloody time. They just go towards the line. That's the AI. So stupid. Of course they will die up and die again, I guess. Come on, die. Die. Ups and they die again. Yeah, that's pretty smart. So, General's unit is here, but also like about Shogun 2, that most of the time, and also actually did it a bit, that the General's unit doesn't just charge towards the line. In some games, I mean, Total Wars, like the General's like doing a suicidal attack. So in most cases, at least, it's not doing that. So here we have the 12-pounder field howitzer is going to do the same stupid stuff. I have no idea why. I really have no idea why. I wish I could just change the algorithm the way cannons work. The rest, okay, fine, can stay the same, but oh my god, that pisses me so much, eh? They can do so much damage, and they're just like, oh no, we're going to charge towards the front line. So here we have the British units firing here, but at least they are in a line, towards my units. Smoke's pretty cool. So yeah, sadly the cannons are doing that stupid stuff, but at least the infantry not. So, but good thing is, and that's what I could see more and more consistently, is that the AI fires first a lot, and then in the end, when it doesn't have any more ammunition, then it starts to charge. So that's actually pretty cool. Not like before, like just charging like stupid. So yeah. Now, you know, most of the units have similar stats. I mean, British line with Dutch line has similar stats, except the Russians. The Russians will have, because of a doctrine that they were using, is that the bayonet was very interesting or important for them. The Russian melee will be much better, of course, than the other European or Western counterparts. Except the accuracy, because yeah, I had to do something, so don't kill me for that, because otherwise the Russian units had a better melee and similar accuracy, so I lowered it with 1 accuracy. So I gave them 2 extra melee points, but -1 accuracy. So then the Russians have a better melee than the other Western counterparts. So you also see a big difference because I've changed the way the hit points work. So all line, before it wasn't like that, but all line infantry, all light infantry has 1 hit point. The elite units have 2 hit points, so they are really will be elite. And in most cases, I'm firing canister shots. I don't know why I fired, because the problem is with canister shots is that you have a max range, of course, but in the end it just fires over the units because of the max range I'm firing. So yeah, I had to switch back to normal round shot. So I don't know if you can see it here. Here, firing back to normal round shots. That doesn't matter. Is it here or not? Tip is they always fire on the flank, eh? No idea why that is, but okay. So the thing about the elite units is that the elite units will be, of course, elite now, really elite. It's, you could say, a bit more difficult to kill, and in all the battles I fought, I've tested, you could say, they were always almost the last ones on the battlefield. The same with the AI. Most of the time, in most cases, if they didn't put their elite units in the front line, of course, they were always, most of the time, the last man standing. So I think that makes it a bit cool also. So the general's unit has, I think, 3 hit points, so then you don't kill like the general that fast, you know. Because, you know, also buffed a bit the morale hit points for when a general dies. Ah yeah, here, maybe I have to shut up the whole time, but I was sending my flanker, my elite flankers here to support my grenadiers, because I was afraid this flank here, you know, plus because these 3 units were probably fired to my grenadiers here. So I was like, okay, I'm going to support my grenadiers. I'm going to support them in fire, so I have more firepower there. But as you can hear, again, you have the military cadence. It means I have they walk faster. So it's an ability that you can use. It's pretty awesome, huh? What do you think? I think it's awesome. Okay, you see, we already are 45 minutes. No, sorry, we are 15 minutes in the battle. So I have seen that most battles, tier 1 battles, of course, because the higher the tier in the future, the faster the battles will be, because yeah, the modernization of of rifles, of cannons, yeah, they were more deadly, so that's why battles were much faster. But in tier 1 battles, it's between 30 and 40 minutes most of the time, because of course the ammunition goes off, and then they go in melee, or they use a bayonet, and then of course fights are faster. Okay, here, so I send my flankers to my left flank to support my grenadiers. So what you also will see, they're probably out of range, of course, or not, I'm not sure. Ah no, now they fire or not. Are they going to reload? And let's see the animation. Hup. That's the where the bullet is.
Ready, men. Calm your mounts. Sir, a unit has fired off all its ammunition.
Oh, thank you, sir. I fired all my ammunition. Okay. Now, if you ever want to test it out for yourself, you can't see it very. Not you can see it, but you know, of course, the bullets, they're so fast, you can't see sometimes the way they are, but you will see that out of the barrel will come a mini ball, if you have a rifled musket, of course. The French have a mini ball, the British have a mini ball, and the rifled musket. The Russian elite have rifled muskets. The Russians have, some of them have rifled muskets. The elite ones have the threads and needle gun. So there's a breechload musket, of course. So, but it's also using the mini ball, you could say. And I think the Dutch, all the Dutch have smoothbore muskets. The Prussians, the main army, tier 1 ones, have muskets. And that's it actually. The rest have some sorts of rifled musket. Oh yeah, the reason why I sent my troops back, those ones, is because I didn't have I didn't have ammunition, so I was going to keep them for bayonet charges or whatsoever. But then, is it? No, oh no, okay. So here I'm just adding them because they had still ammunition left, so they could defend the trench here. And with my cannon here, this cannon, I was firing towards the right flank here. So you can see the reflection of the light, the way the cannons are, it's much more beautiful, huh? Like before was like really ugly. Now I finally could find out why it was like that. You have to, so if you ever mod for yourself, you have to use the DDS converter of CA's modding tools, because you know you have an NVIDIA plugin for Photoshop, for example. You also have, I think, a DDS plugin for GIMP. But they will not work. I mean, they will work, but it will not give the same texture reflection than you use one of the official modding tools. Now here I can see they were starting to charge. I think it's because some of them didn't have ammunition anymore, so they were like, okay, we have to charge the trenches. I mean the earthwork. How can I say the earthworks, earth fort, whatever. Remember me Fort Wagner a bit. And here you can see they're like, okay, stop. And are they going to fire? They're going to fire or not? They're going to charge or fire, man. So they go back in line. So you see, at least the AI is trying, huh? You know? At least the AI is a bit trying here to... And I've seen it more and more now with revamping the projectile system and also of other stuff, other tweaks I did, that they were firing more in line, putting themselves more in line to fire, you know? They're dancing. Yeah. So here they were charging, as you can hear, because you hear them yelling. So I was like, I'm going to take my bloody cannons away from here. And I was like, I'm going to take my grenadiers, but then I was like, oh no, they're going to charge me, so I have to... Let's not miss this. Huh? So I used this one. I was like retreating because I was thinking I'm going to use the ammunition because they didn't have ammunition anymore.
One of your units can no longer fire, General.
Here is a cool melee battle between stab. That's one. Another one. And here these ones are also charging me, so I'm going to charge them. This is our the Gurkhas. The Gurkhas have better melee stats, but remember, my grenadiers are elite units, so they have to be a bit better. Also changed all the animation, as you can see. It's already loaded. And here the other foot infantry. This is the AI. I'm not doing nothing. Yeah, I'm the Dutch. This is the AI. Yeah? They're storming. Yeah, they're storming the trenches, I think. Yes. Kind of. So here they're storming the forts. Man, I really love this map. So cool. So I'm getting overrun here. I remember that, you know, I was thinking I'm going to leave them here. So it's a mistake of me, of course. I was thinking maybe they are capable enough. But then yeah, this one started firing, and those ones are starting to fire. So here they just retreated. I was like, oh crap, as I said. Yeah, and they were like, oh no, we are attacking the flank or in the rear. And they were like, oh, we already are like, what? You see, they're already routing. It's like, what? This is no good. It's like, this is no good. So you see that attacking in flank and rear really can demoralize your army really fast. The flag repel, so I'm trying to repel them, but then yeah, they start like sending all their bloody troops. And I was like, this doesn't look very well here. So yeah, trying to take them out, but yeah, this is the Grenadier Guards, you get that, elite units. So yeah, it was, I mean, they're all retreating. I was like, what? And they're also in the middle. So I'm sending all my available troops to charge. These are my Colonial Infantry, but yeah, I will be overrun here on the left flank. So I'm trying at least with my East Indies Infantry against the Grenadier Guards and the Sutherland Highlanders, Colonial ones at least. Here at the Black Watch, I'm like, I'm so screwed. I mean, you see they start like charging my entire bloody fort. So we are 37 minutes now, so it means we are 23 minutes in the battle. So they are all retreating. Here I'm fighting with my flankers against foot infantry. I will directly send them back. So here I was overrun. I was like, holy crap. Because It's really sometimes difficult. I was like, yeah, the AI wasn't that stupid, you know? So here I try to reorganize my troops, the ones that have ammunition to shoot them, because yeah, they have rifled muskets, so yeah, I'm like, oh crap, I have to try to shoot them out of the sky here. So here I was entirely overrun here. Are they retreating? No, I don't know, they're trying to put on the line. So yeah, I'm trying here with my general. I was like, oh no, I'm going to send my general back, because if I lose my general here, the entire army will get demoralized and I will lose them. So here we are here busy. So the entire left flank has been overrun. So yeah, I was like, ah crap. That's not good. So here I've been like trying. I was thinking I was going to lose. I was like, oh crap, I'm going to lose here, man. Yeah, I had to shoot, so yeah, I had to shoot my own man also. This is the British general. I am with the here, way. That's the bug. Yeah, sorry, I can't take that bug out because when they start to fire, it's really stupid. So yeah, I can't do nothing about it. It's T-pose, sadly, but okay. You have to accept it, guys. Sorry. So here I'm trying to repel them. You know, like maybe I can kill the general and then, you know, try to take them out. Nice, a very brave general. So here I was trying to send like these troops to the flank so I can fire on this flank here. So here I sent this East Indies infantry, and I sent them there to shoot. But yeah, the problem is, of course, there is a hill, so yeah, I can't really shoot that well because you see it hits here and I start firing. Yeah, that was a really stupid mistake of mine. And here you can see the flankers still, they're still alive, and those guys is unbelievable. And here even the grenadiers are still here, 23 men. So this, you know, you will see that the elite infantry are pretty good. They're not like before. So here I'm trying to send to fire on the flanks to try to beat them. And here we are. Here they're just trying to charge here. The general, is the general dead or not? The general is still there, but he's running away. He's still alive. He's running away. Yeah, general dead. General dead. You see? Concerned, general dead. So I think it's because of that I could repel them. But even then they still are fighting, even if the general is dead, so that's, you know. And as you can see, I actually defeated the entire center. They still have a lot of troops here. This is Scots Fusilier Guards. This is a massacre. This is a real massacre. I mean, look at this, man. I was really surprised. I was like, I'm going to test the battle. I'm like, oh. But of course, I'm using the Dutch, eh? And I'm not saying the Dutch are bad or something, but they have smoothbore muskets. I'm sure if I had rifle muskets, by using the French, it will be a bit easier because, you know, they hit. I mean, it's just much more accurate, of course, and the damage is higher also. So here I try, of course, to charge because, yeah, the Royal Marines, because they were otherwise trying to flank me in my rear. So here they run away, so that I can use them back. So here I took them all out, and then I was trying to get my grenadiers like, okay, I'm going to, because, you know, they already are winded. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try to get them here and then attack them in the rear or flank here. So it has a much more demoralizing thing. Then I was using them for like, okay, keep them busy here. I fire towards that one, and I use my East Indies infantry to fight them or shoot them in the back. Yeah, they were using this one to shoot that way. They were not that stupid. They're pretty funny. This one is there, this one is here. Right. Oh. That's really strange. Never seen that. Okay. Because they are breaking, there you can see it. It's red. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? Am I going to send all those troops to here? So I was like thinking, I'm going to send my troops here so I can defend it if they want to reach there, or I will just send all my troops because they still had a lot of men. As you can see, they start moving while I was, because yeah, my East Indies they broke of course, and my flankers were breaking. I was like, ah crap. Yeah, I have to send all of them towards my left flank here in the center, because they were sending their troops there. And you know, I was thinking, okay, at least I kept them busy here with this with the Southern Islanders, with my flankers, so that, you know, the unit was stuck. But then of course they run towards the center. I was like, oh crap, okay, I have to send all my available troops to the left side. So I was like, I'm going to put it here so they can shoot. I like walking, okay. Let's idiot. You see they still are concerned for their general, huh? Pretty cool, huh? These are the Luxembourg Infantry. Oh my god, they're going to break. Yep, and they broke. I already knew it because that's why I put my armies here to defend this side. Now they're going to walk towards my Limburg Infantry. And I've sent my flankers and my grenadiers to charge them here, and to here to charge them in the rear. Yeah, I don't know what the AI is doing, but okay. So here I just charged right in the rear. Yeah, attacking flank, as you can see. That gives them a pretty debuff in morale. And you see they already run away. And I won the battle. As you can see, everyone is breaking here. Except this one, but this one will also break, the Colonial Settlement Highlanders. So now I think I sent, isn't it that I sent all my troops? Not sure. So you can see they're yellow, they're red, so they will break soon, of course. Because of the amount of casualty that there is. And as you see, this one already retreated, and this is the Grenadier Guards. I told you, the elite infantry always, most of the time, are always the last man standing. Now I have sent all my troops and charge the Grenadier Guards together with my Grenadiers here. Will probably break. They're yellow. I just charge them. I will never hold it. Remember, this is against the AI, on normal. So you can see that it, by tweaking it a bit, I mean its parameters, because you know we can't change the core code. So here I'm sending my general with the T-pose. So, yeah, I won the battle, but as you can see, pretty close. So now you can see the entire slaughter here, you can see the amount of men. So that's why I animated all those flags. You can see all the flags. falling. I think that's pretty cool. The channel died somewhere here. So here is again. I lost a lot of men here. A lot of men on the trenches. I mean here. It was a close battle, if you can see. Look at all the flags, man. It's not normal. Here on the hill also. It was a big battle. I mean, yeah, I was really surprised. I'm really happy about it, of the way the AI reacted. Even if it's still doing stupid, but at least it fires in a line, not like smashing bros, whatever. But here they lost a lot of men, huh? Of course, me too. You can see here's a flag. Battlefield here. Yeah, a lot of dead men. A lot of dead men. A lot of men have fallen. So I've continued, like, yeah, I will continue so then you can see the...
Sir, a unit has fired off all its
You can see the massacre that happened here on the battlefield. I really love this battle map. I was hoping that someone can make custom battle maps for the mod. It's a bit difficult, so okay. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I see you then, I guess, the next time, guys. This is the way the mod is progressing here, and I see costly victory, of course. I won, but it was pretty costly. Good, that was it, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. The changes have been added. If you're a Patreon member, you can already test it. I have, all the updates. I always update them there, the smaller ones, not the ones that I put official, because I'm going to wait until I have reassembled the cavalry, the Western factions, and the Asian factions, and then I will update it officially. But if you want to support me on Patreon, you can, of course, always, and also, of course, by going to Discord, give some feedback, ask questions, of course. Keep support me in that also. But if you want to support me the project that I'm doing, then you're always welcome. Yeah, that was it for today then. And I hope you enjoyed the mod and the updates that I'm adding, and soon you will have an official update that you can all play, of course. Custom battles only, after I'm going to the Navy, but that's after. So I hope you enjoy it, and see you then, guys. Bye bye.